Hello there, Virgo. Alright, so I already shuffled beforehand. We are good to go. The only thing I'm going to do is this. So this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And we're also looking at the fact that we are now doing the links in the description down below. So you guys, when you're done watching this video, you can check out the links down below in the description. And you can see all the other signs. So you don't have to click back and look through my channel to try and find the different videos. You'll be able to just click the links and have that be it. Also, while you're down there, if you haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. And you can also check out my website, vitaltarot.com. Okay, so with that being said, we will get right on with your reading, because these have already been shuffled beforehand, and so we're just going to get right to it. So, Virgo, we are going to start with your spirituality reading first, and we're going to be doing the past, present, and future. Right now we're going to focus on the past. And so what I see here is I see the King of Wands with the Ten of Wands. Okay? So, primarily, what I see, the King of Wands is someone who's a very passionate, romantic kind of person. Very strong, very hot-blooded, strong kind of person. This person's very passionate. This person is very, wise, and this person can also be incredibly creative as well. So, to me, this could be we're looking at an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. And when I see the Ten of Wands next to this, and so someone could be helping you in your life, because when I see the Ten of Wands, we're definitely focusing on new ways of looking at creative energy where we're not repeating the same steps. So I feel like you could be, in the past, you could have been completing an art course or some kind of photography class, or maybe something with music, or something with some sort of self-expression that would be viewed as more artistic. So that's what I see this being. And when I say spiritual, I don't just mean like psychics or mediums or anything like that. I mean, almost anything can be spiritual depending on the way that we look at it. So I feel like this would be something of an endeavor in the past where we're focusing on things that we're very passionate about. And so this is really good, starting out this reading, because we're coming from a place of passion and a place of great interest. Okay, so I'm going to look at the present energy here. I see the Empress, which is Taurus, and I see the King of Swords, which is Aquarius. So to me, when we look at so I see the Empress, which is Taurus, and is also kind of like a motherly, nurturing sort of energy. So right now we could be coming from a place where maybe we are a new mother or father and we're looking at nurturing a newborn child. Or we could also be coming from a place of letting ourselves be who we are truly meant to be and not judging. Okay, and I mentioned that in a lot of my videos, but it's such a strong core concept, and it leads to almost everything else going right in your life, that self-love and non-judgment is huge. Okay, that to me is the absolute truth. So I see that we're looking at things in a calm, nurturing, and very respectful way, but I also see over here we get the King of Swords energy, and this, again, I feel like it's more Aquarius, but it could be Libra or Gemini as well. So this right here, partnered with the Empress, I feel like this is a strong, charismatic, caring person, but also very intelligent and very wise with their words, and a very smart person, okay, a very sharp thinker, so to speak. So that's what I'm seeing here. So I also feel that in the spiritual sense that we could be looking at developing our sense of connecting with the earth, our sense of grounding ourselves, our sense of knowing ourselves better. So we could be looking at doing meditations. We could be looking at taking online courses or in-person courses where we're looking at psychology or cognitive behavioral therapy, or analyzing the brain or the mind in some way. But definitely using that earth energy that Virgo has and putting it to the test with, not putting it to the test, but putting it to good use with that nurturing kind of energy. So you have your nurturing side and you also have your intelligence as well, and that together creates a very harmonious union where we speak the truth, we know the truth, we feel that, the whole deal. We're just expressing truth energy. So that's very, very awesome. So let's look at the future. So I get the Six of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So this, to me, when we're looking at future energy, I feel like this is maybe 2 months down the road. Some of you may be experiencing this now, just depending on where the planets are in your chart. You could be experiencing this at different times. So when I see the Six of Cups and the Queen of Cups, to me, we're focusing on... Okay, and this one's the Six of Cups. You couldn't really see the thing at the bottom. But to me, we're focusing on, in the future, again, possibly giving birth to new ideas. It could be an actual physical birth as well, but there could also be a Cancer individual in your future, or a Pisces or Scorpio as well. So I also see that in the future, we will have the ability to start healing old childhood wounds. And so this is really good, because when we start to heal those childhood wounds, we actually start to heal a lot of us. When we heal the past, we heal the present, and we can actually look forward to a very bright and positive future. As long as we're working on ourselves, that's the important thing. We'll do this thing where we keep going back to our lessons, our life lessons, until we have it down pat. And when we get to that point, then we no longer have to go through the same stuff over and over again. We've learned it, we've moved on, and then maybe a little bit later on, we'll learn a new facet about ourselves from looking at the lesson in a different way. But we're always learning, and that's what we're here for, is to learn and to express ourselves in that way. So hold on. But that's definitely where we're coming from, is we have a sense of really looking at and digging into ourselves in a positive way, not in a bad way. So let me see here what we get for our energy card. Again, I already shuffled these. And we get second chakra, Archangel Ariel in reverse. So this is, the second chakra deals with self-expression, which is very fitting, because in the past, that's what we were focusing on, was more of an artistic expression. The second chakra is the same as the Wand's energy, so it's very fiery, it's very creative. It can be sexual, it can be dancing, it can be all of these different ways of expressing the self, okay? So when we're coming into this kind of energy, it's important for us to realize that self-expression is something that is very sacred, and it's also something that we need to look at in a very respectful way. That doesn't mean that we need to always be sacred with ourselves or anything like that. What it means is, treat ourselves very well, obviously, but what it means is that we need to always be looking at things in a way of, how can I express this to the highest of my ability? How can I express these emotions to the highest of my ability, or to the extent that I need to? So that's what I'm seeing this being here. So this is really good energy. This is very positive, very strong kind of I talk about the fires of purification a lot too, but that's what I feel that this is. It's kind of like a rebirth through flames. And to me, it's definitely more of looking at self-expression in the way where we don't feel ashamed of it anymore, and where we can just look at it and stand tall and be proud of ourselves for who we are, instead of having other people tell us who we should be and things like that. We're starting to come into our own sense of individuation, okay? So we're starting to become our own individual selves, and we're starting to like who we are becoming. So really good, really good. Let me see what psychic messages I get here. So I feel like some of you are starting to learn how to play an instrument. I'm seeing particularly like a guitar, a ukulele, or a sitar. I'm seeing a bunch of different kind of string instruments, or I'm seeing one string instrument that kind of changes shape. So to me, that says that you're learning some sort of new skill, and I feel like, again, it's more creative. But I feel like for some of you, it's very much a string instrument, the guitar, violin, cello, the whole deal is what I feel. And so if that's something you guys are going through, let me know down in the comments. But I feel like there's learning, and I feel like this is kind of a pathway to your soul. Like this is something you feel like you should have learned a long time ago. So this is really good. You guys are starting to express that part of yourself, okay? And that's what all this is about. Self-expression is what our whole existence is for. in my opinion, okay? All right, so moving on. Let's see what we can get here. Just gonna softly shuffle these a little bit. And we'll move right into the love reading. We're looking into the past in love. And I see the Hanged Man in reverse, which this could be something where we're not seeing things the way they're meant to be seen. The way I picked it up was... Okay, I'm sorry. The Hanged Man one confuses me because he's upside down. So when I see the card, I think he's upside down. And then I'm like, oh, he's upside down. But the Hanged Man, if he's right side up, is in reverse, right? So the way that I see this is we're looking at things from a new perception in the past. Some of us may have refused to look at things from a new perception, but I feel like most of us were looking at things from a new perception. What that means is that we're allowing ourselves to see other people's points of view without kind of interjecting our own analytical overlay on top of it, where we're like, they're doing this because of this. We're starting to not be that person in our head, and we're starting to be like, okay, they probably have a reason for why they're doing this. Maybe I'll just ask them what's going on, right? Instead of assuming or instead of doing it that way, we're asking. This, I feel like, is getting you out of trouble, because when I see the Seven of Wands, usually I feel like that's kind of looking for a way out, or that's sort of looking in a spot where we're definitely focusing on getting away from a problem and not facing it head on. And so I feel like that's led to a lot of disagreements, and that's led to a lot of kind of more childish squabbles, I feel like, where it's hard for us to look at someone else's point of view, and so it's hard for us to understand where other people are coming from. Other people can flat out be jerks, and they can be not nice people to be around as well. But this energy here is saying that some of these people, I feel like, actually did have something to say, and in our kind of more immature sort of attitude in the past, okay, this is in the past energy, we sort of looked at it like they had nothing new to tell us. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. I'm going to look in the, and especially in the love department, okay, because that's what this is. This could be partners here that are telling us things that we could have changed about ourselves to make ourselves better. And some of the words they said, I'm sure, were absolutely painful, but some of them could have been coming from a place of truth where they needed to come out and you needed to hear it, okay? Ways that you know if it's a positive message for self-improvement or that it's just mean is that it's something that helps you become a better person overall. So if someone is just calling you worthless, that's not going to help you become a better person, and you're not worthless. Okay, it's something where if someone's like, well, maybe if we didn't just talk about sports, or maybe if we didn't just talk about this or blah, 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 then we could do something about it. Those kinds of people that give constructive criticism, those are the kinds of people you want to have in your life, because more than likely they're there to help you. They're not there to belittle you or take you down a peg, so to speak. They're there to help you and to communicate with you. So let's look in the present moment in love. And I see the Queen of Swords and I see the Eight of Cups. So in the present moment, we could be looking at walking away from a Libra individual or from someone who's an air sign. So Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. We could be looking at walking away from that situation because it's no longer emotionally fulfilling. Or we've seen where it goes and we don't like where it's going. Does that make sense? Like we don't necessarily see a future with this person where it's like comfortable and we're waking up every day and we feel excited by each other's company. We are seeing this person as someone that we wake up next to, we roll our eyes, and we're like, ugh, you know. I feel like that's something here, okay? Where we're just not getting along with this individual. We're just looking at him and saying, you know what, I'm good. I'd be okay if we just weren't together, but you could be staying together out of a sense of obligation, and that's actually much worse if you stay together in a sense of obligation, because then there's no love there and you're both blocking your path to finding other better people. Okay, does that make sense? But that's what I'm seeing here. I'm going to look in the future here and see what we can find. So I get the Nine of Wands and I get the Devil card here. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay. So when I see the Nine of Wands in reverse and I see the Devil card, in the future we are going to be going through, or in the future we will have accomplished something major in our lives. So this could be, again, it's love, of course, but I feel like this could also relate to working in something that you're passionate about. Besides just relationships, it could be finally getting the diploma or the degree that you've been looking for, or finally finding a place where you can put on your play, or you can practice your music. But also what I see is that this could finally be a way for you to be done with the project once and for all, okay? When I take this into a love situation, this could be getting free from a situation, from a kind of a romantically dead situation into something that's more fulfilling. But I do feel like there could be possibly a Capricorn individual, because we get the Devil card. This person could be someone who could be kind of a karmic partner in the future. So really be on the lookout for people that make you feel like it's exciting at first, but this person doesn't have your best interest at heart, and they could possibly be an earth sign. So just really, really make sure that you know what you're doing, and if there's this sense of like excitement, but it also feels wrong, then it probably is wrong for you to do that. This might be a time for you to be alone for a little while instead of focusing on finding a partner right away, because when we're alone, even though it can be painful, that's also when we learn the most about ourselves. If that's something we're actually trying to do, is to learn about ourselves, we will learn a lot when we're alone, because no one's going to come in and tell us, this is how you are, this is how this is. We start to see how we really are, okay? I'm going to do an energy card here to kind of tie the reading together. And I get Healer of the Ages in reverse. So our job is not to heal other people. That's what I feel this here. So if you're in a relationship, you do not have to heal the other person. You can say, I can help you with this, and if they want help, absolutely do it. But you by no means have to stay in a relationship that is dead and buried if the person is not contributing. If they are not helping themselves, and if they are not helping the relationship grow, you do not have to stay there. I don't care what people have to say. You deserve to be happy, and you do not have to stay in a situation you feel unhappy in, especially if you keep offering help and you're honest in that help that you're offering, and the person just keeps turning it down and keeps ignoring it and doesn't do anything about it. You have every right to seek someone who's more evolved and someone who's trying to learn and better themselves, because that's what you're trying to do. And if the other person's not about that, it's not going to be a good relationship. It's going to constantly shift between it's kind of okay to it's absolute hell, and that's no way to have a relationship, especially towards the later part, because it will just kind of stay in that purgatory state where neither one of you can grow or evolve, because the other person would look at you differently. And we change and we grow and we evolve. That's what a relationship is, and the relationship has to adjust and adapt to those kinds of situations for sure. So I'm going to see what kind of information we can get psychically and go from there. So just sit tight. Okay, so I'm seeing shifting boxes, which sounds really weird, but I'm also seeing a walkie-talkie. So some of you guys could be moving or have moved in the past, the recent past, I feel like, or you're getting ready to move. And it doesn't have to be to a different town. It could be to a different apartment in the same town. But to me, it's like you're moving away from what no longer serves you. And so during that move, that's a really good time to cut yourself off from energies that no longer serve you as well, because it's kind of like a fresh start, and the power of a fresh start cannot be denied. It's really great if you're in a situation where you feel like this person I don't really like to be around, and this person I don't want to do this. Don't ever feel obligated, like you have to be there for someone who's not there for you, or if you feel obligated, then it's not really what you would want as a friendship. If you feel constantly obligated to be there for this person when you feel like you've outgrown them 10, 20 years ago, and all you do is talk about the past and there's no new energy coming in, that can be draining. That can be something that, not necessarily that the person's doing wrong, but maybe you want to expand your horizons, and maybe this person's asking too much of you right now. So it's important to look at what you want in your life and to focus on that. And if someone tries to make you feel bad for bettering yourself, then it's really important to adjust your point of view and get away from this person so that you can really start to express who you are. Okay, so that's what I see for you guys. Again, you can look at the other videos down below in the link in the description, and please take a look at my website. I'm offering discounts on the energy healing course, or the energy healing that I do, and you can look at the other tarot questions that you can ask on my website and do all that. I would really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much. Have an amazing week. Namaste, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.